Hey everyone, I'm a master jeweler. I am a accomplished jeweler and I do a jewelry work. I have a jewelry company and I have a team that helps me to create all these amazing, beautiful, crazy amount of beautiful pieces. So how you started is I am a son of a jeweler and also I am a grandson of a jeweler. Also, my uncles and my brothers were jewelers. I have a lineage of story coming to me from jewelry background. So, my grandfather was a jeweler. He started back in old Turkey, Armenia. Back in Mersin, he had Sepastia, those towns. He had jewelry shop, and he was a master jeweler. Then he brought that skills to my father, that he was a jeweler and his brothers were jeweler, known jewelers in Beirut, Lebanon. Also, then after we came to America, we kept the trade going. Pretty much, my brothers were jeweler, and my brothers are not any longer. I stayed in the jewelry, and I've been doing it for 34 years, and this is how I started. So 1984, I stopped doing schooling. I went full-time jewelry after doing summers and going to my dad's shop, playing with his tools, little hammers, everything. I remember when I was 3 years old, playing with his tools. I was very, very familiar what these tools was used for and how everything went. So 1984 I start doing handmade from beginning to the end, handmade jewelry skill learning, and took me about a year to kind of get hang of the saw blade and the tools, the pliers, the fire, one, not to melt wires, not to cut extra, not to cut over, under, everything. So that's how I started. After a year of doing in Beirut, Lebanon, I immigrated to US, and this is where I continued learning. I remember I was about 3 to 4 days. I had time for myself, and then I jumped into continuing doing the skill. So I went and found really, really skilled people where they knew what they were so good at what they were doing. So I went and asked them to teach me how to do it while I was helping them with their designs and everything, because I had pretty good hand by that time, and I was like knew what I was doing. So, but like I wasn't the skilled person that I, set up for myself to become. And so, like, I did what I had to do. I pretty much, I put a lot of hours, a lot of days, a lot of months, years to become this the jeweler that I was. I no longer needed to have a mentor or a boss, or like that person that is always telling you hair this way, hair that way, file it here, there, all that, right? So I did that for about 6 years, and I was able to free myself from having someone telling me start going to my venture, to my journey of becoming the best jeweler that I could become. And that took about 17 years about to become the master jeweler that I wanted to become, right? That was my goal. So after that, it was all about developing my own skill, my own what is the word? Oh, my own style, my own way of doing things, my own tools, filing, shaping my own tools to have certain tools, and I could do things my way instead of the marketplace whatever offers me those tools. So I was always the one like filing my tools around and making it my own thing, like so. So I developed my own style, my own ways of doing faster things, better, higher quality, and everything. So that's how I started. And throughout this journey, I had a bunch of companies with my brothers, with partners, with retail shop, and like manufacturing and wholesaling, and went through all these different sectors of the jewelry, this industry, whatever it offers. I just jumped from one to another, did everything. To me, it's like I'm like a chameleon. I can go here and then develop my skills over there, and then go over there, develop other skills. So I develop all the skills that I have today that I can implement in my designing, in my ideas, for my clients or for my customers, right? So this is what it took for me to start becoming who I am today, what kind of jeweler I became, and why I can run this group of people, like the team, where we can create beautiful, amazing, unbelievable jewelry. So that's what it took for me to start. And today, what I created is I learned how to give everyone their space, their room, their build them as an authority of their stations, and they help me run the company that I created a lot better, where they can open time for me to have time to create all this amazing, unbelievable jewelry that I always wanted to create, but I didn't have the time to. And because you guys know how it works, you're gonna work to pay bills and like catch up, like always. So I don't have to play that anymore. I get to play designer and like create amazing designs, and always achieve that thing that it's always in your mind, that you always dream to have. I wish I could have time to create. I get to do that today because I work and I created what I had to, and change my belief system, my thinking, and was able to create this. So this is how I started my journey to become and become this jeweler that I am today. And today, when you go see my website, you're gonna see a lot of different kind of jewelry, a lot of different ideas, different free form, hand carved pieces, ideas. That's what it took for me to come to be this jeweler that I am today. All right, so I'm gonna like switch a little bit and talk about the process now. What it takes to become, the jeweler, the person that you want to become, the artist, the designer. So what happens in the process is, in the beginning, when I started, I didn't have the full understanding and knowledge of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to do something that it was widely available for me, because my dad was a jeweler, and his friends were jeweler, and the people around me was jeweler. Was easy. I had a lot of mentors, a lot of coaches all around me, where they helped me to become what I wanted to do, what I wanted to become. But eventually you'll create this person in you, where you'll start pushing yourself all the time. You always want to become the better version of you, right? So what does it take to become better version of you? There is a process. Like you start pushing, you start doing a lot of mistakes, and like in the process you start learning what not to do, what works best, and what you have to do more of. And like when you start doing what you have to do more of, that's like it's very deep, right? So you kind of like go through steps and then push yourself, keep on pushing, and then keep on getting to other results, like because of this you start learning about the other thing, right? So the process kind of like you start one place, you end up another place, but like you when you first started, you had no idea like you're gonna end up over there. Like if I start making settings by hand, in the end I'll find myself doing settings with wax, because you use these techniques and rules here into implementing in this wax form, and it's a lot faster, a lot cleaner, a lot better. You can do 3 settings instead of 1 setting with working with metal. So like you end up another place, but having the same result, but better effect and better thing. The process is kind of guide you through finding better way of doing things, And then like you go through a lot of trials and errors, and I kind of touched on that a little bit, but like you sometimes pulling metals, gold wires and everything, like carving them and by hand everything, you find that that's very fulfilling, and then really like your designing mind starts opening up and having all these really satisfying feelings end of the day. But like when it comes to like finishing deadlines and everything, sometimes that's a little bit heavy. It takes a long time to do all these things, and jewelry business is like, it's really hard on your body, your eyes, your neck, always like looking down, everything. You kind of have to like learn what your body is also doing, so in the process you learn all these things, that you can use your body a certain amount of time a day. Like you can maybe switch the goldsmithing into like wax designing, casting, and maybe like have people where they can do this part for you, and then you can do the micro finishing designing part, and all these things. The process will teach you to become that better version, better company, not only a version of you. So you have to always like, I paid attention to everything, whatever I had to do to get to that point, but like the better way, the fastest way, and like what does it take to be, you have to pursue this concept, the idea of like what is the best way. So I did that, and that's why today who I am. I became the master jeweler that I am today. So I made a promise for myself to become this person long time ago, and I kept true to my promise, and then I kept going after that target where I set up for me, and that's why I became who I became. So that's pretty much, you go through a lot of process during this time, and you have to be okay with a bunch of like no successes, like failures and everything. So you have to, like, as long as you have the goal, the target, you go after. It's okay if you don't succeed sometimes, but like with the more success that you have, more understanding you're gonna have where like you narrow down the target, where the target is. You don't have multiple targets. Now you have just narrow target, the wide, where you can go after, and that's the process, pretty much becoming the best jeweler that you can. And also, I understand that this is never going to end. It's always going to continue refining itself. But like there's a jeweler that you guys have to look for, which is the person that knows what to ask, what to question you, your ideas, and that's gonna help you to get better product for you. And also that jeweler can actually make his jewelry faster and better and more affordable. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the reason from the process. The reason why this process works, why I have this experience, where my experience took me, and how I started. where I went and created this experience, created this who I am today, this jeweler. The reason is because I'm gonna tell you guys what I used to do to get these beautiful pieces. Why I used to like try to like tap into my mind and try to like design things beautifully, where it didn't look bulky, it didn't look denty, it didn't look that the band does not belong to the head or the setting. All these different parts of these pieces that it comes together to make it look beautiful. Since these pieces are very expensive, it could get very expensive with the Sandstone diamonds and like bunch of diamond and platinum and gold and everything. So the reason that I got today what I do today, that it makes sense, everything that I make, it has really good feedbacks and like beautiful pieces come out, is because for me it worked. I used to use a lot of magazines, try to see what other designers are doing. A lot of people do it. I have clients do it today. They come show me some other designers and things, turning into their kind of like. I personally stopped doing that about 9-10 years ago. Actually more, about 11-12 years ago. The reason is because I found this community where they were all artists, designers, bunch of retired artists, what do you call the people building, like making buildings and bridges? Architects. People that in this community, they come together is architects, mechanics, and builders. So I got involved with this community for a long time. I'm still involved, but like until 3 years ago, I was involved heavily. Part of this community is Burning Man community, where when you go to these festivals, with these gatherings, you're gonna meet all these people, you're gonna talk to them, mingle with them, and you're gonna everything's gonna get rubbed on you. So the first time I remember I went to Burning Man after going a lot of other festivals and a lot of gatherings like art with this art community, it changed me. It changed me so much that I could actually stop my brain for a little while and not think anything. That stunned me. That made me think like, oh my God, I can actually not think right now. It was so amazing. It was so amazing that I remember how it happened, what it happened, because it was profound, right? I was on my bicycle, riding on the playa, looking down my shadow and thinking like, why I think always, how can I stop my mind? And then suddenly I was able to stop my mind from thinking. And I remember trying to be like, oh my God, like, look at my shadow, look at me on the playa, peaceful, beautiful, riding my bicycle. And I'm like, okay, how about I try myself to think something. And I tried to think, nothing. There was blank. It was happy place, and there was nothing. There was nothing coming. It was so profound that changed me, you know. And then I was able to go and focus and look at those beautiful giant artwork that was available for me on the playa. And like when I came back from that trip, I remember gathering all my magazines. It was as tall as me. I had that much magazines laying around the shop, and I went and threw everything in the garbage. And I never used magazines since then. I never looked at any designers since then. I'm able to tap into deep in my core, deep in my psyche, and understanding where the best way this piece could be done. And that's the reason I became today who I am. How I can create this beautiful jewelry, and that it makes sense, that they're beautiful, and people, I get hugs from my customer. I get hugs. I get thank yous. I get people just like, they don't believe that they actually have this piece in real life, because I'm able to like tap into, connect to their mind, tap into their soul, and actually take that and put it on this metal piece, right? So that's the reason I am who I am today. Because I was able to get out of my table, to get out of my little bubble, and then go out there, connect with these amazing people that got robbed on me, and I had that in me, and that slowly got developed, and I use that to create what I create today, and I don't have any magazines, and I don't look at any jeweler designers, and it doesn't matter to me what they're doing. Everyone's doing what they're doing. Whoever does the best, they're gonna be on top. This is how I see it. I always strive to push myself to do the best that I do, whatever I do. So end of the day, I'll try to be better than my own version. And if that's good enough, then I'm gonna be better than, my piece is gonna be better than the other pieces. So this is the reason I do what I do, and how I do it, and why I became this jeweler that I am today. I'm gonna talk to you guys why us, why me, why you should work with me and let me. I design your pieces. So the reason why us is because I created us, right? I didn't stay. I used to believe that I was amazing, beautiful jeweler, and I'm gonna sit and work and make a bunch of money and buy a house and car and have really good life. I did that for a while. I did make a lot of money. I did, I did really well for myself, for my family. But soon I realized that that's not the path. That's not how you do this. Soon I realized I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna need people. So what I did was at one point I started educating myself into understanding how I'm gonna do this, right? For last 5 years, I'm educating myself nonstop every day, how to run a company, how to run a business, and how to become the better version of me. So I always get up in the morning. I'm so excited, motivated. I want to become better version. I want to have the best company. I want to have the best people, and do this with a team. What I know, what I see, the vision. I want the team to see the vision and do it with the team. So why us is because we are a team here. I'm not a one-person show any longer. So now we all have responsibilities. We all have our best that we can be. So we tap into each other's best that we are, and to create this end product, which is jewelry, which is putting out there for you guys to see, to wear, to enjoy, to use it, to give it to your sons and daughters, so they can give down the lineage of your family tree line, and that stays with your family, because we're creating timeless pieces here also, not only usable but timeless, where hundreds of years later those pieces going to have their beautiful look, beautiful value into that we put into, we created today's time, right? So hundreds of years later, it's going to still look the same. It's going to look. So we do here by thinking, putting our thoughts together, coming up with the best ways. I created different versions of me in the company, where we can really sit down and create some beautiful, awesome pieces for you guys to have and have in your possessions. So that's why we are doing what we're doing. Everyone else is doing what they're doing, but this is how we're doing it. There's no more. There's a a ship going in the ocean, where every part of the ship is running is like the best that it can run, and like so we can get to our destinations, wherever we put our cells to our target, and we are running the ship the best that we possibly could run. So the byproduct of this ship is jewelry. It's rings and pendants and earrings and beautiful wedding bands, beautiful wedding rings, beautiful art pieces where you can wear and go out at night and look good and feel good, and you get beautiful comments, and like this is why we do what we do here, and this is why our product has the value and the meaning into it, because we take your ideas, we take your dreams, and we turn it into reality, into reusable pieces where you can actually use it and have you have meaning into it, because end of the day it's your idea that we developed and we put out there for you to wear it, enjoy it, and have fun with it. So this is why we do what we do, and how we put this thing together, by learning how to tap into your mind and your soul, and taking that out of you and then putting it here on this beautiful gold and silver and platinum gemstones, diamonds, and put it all this together, creating this beautiful piece that becomes alive. And this is all becomes alive in your spirit, in your thought and heart and your mind. So we care about this. We are here to develop and consult with you and take this out of you, and then this is how we do it, and this is who we are, and this is why you guys have to consider us first, and we are ready and we know what we're doing. So if you guys have something to absolutely create beautiful, you should hit us up, and we will sit and discuss, and hopefully we'll get to that soul, that mind that you guys have in your heart, tap in your heart and put this together for you. This is why us. Okay, so if you guys want to consult with us and connect with us, please click the link below and we'll be available for you. So I hope hearing from you guys. Our website is here over there, sitting for you guys to tap into our little world that we created, our empire. That's where it resides, and we look forward to hearing from you guys. Call us, email us, text us, anything that leave comments, leave us DMs, everything that you can try to contact us, and we would look forward to tapping into your mind. Whatever you guys dream, we can design, and we're here. This is why us. So I hope I was able to put out there for you guys why, from beginning to the end, why us. And I appreciate every one of you, and looking forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much.